Today, we're going to be doing an origin right here at Comicstorian, where we cover all the goodness that is your favorite comic books, be it a movie, video game, or television show. One interesting character is Kite Man, who, thanks to a recent run with Tom King in Batman, got a really sad origin, depending on how you look at it. He's then come back in the Harley Quinn TV show as a comical character. So while this video is super late to the party, I thought we would tell you the sad story of Kite Man. Kite Man! Hell yeah. The character of Kite Man was always kind of a joke. Introduced in Batman 133 in 1960, Kite Man was always used as one of those one-note characters who used his gimmick to commit crimes, forcing Batman to use his own version of that gimmick, which he always had stashed in the Batcave for some reason. The character was created by Batman creator Bill Finger and first drawn by Dick Sprang. The character's name was Charles Chuck Brown, based on the Peanuts character, who also used to love flying kites before they would be eaten by a tree. Like many villains with funny names of the time, Kite Man's true call to fame was that his weapons were kite-based. After his first appearance, Kite Man wouldn't return until 1979 in Batman 315, and 7 more years would pass until Kite Man would again appear in Hawkman number 4, where he was defeated again. After that, Kite Man would occasionally appear, usually as a throwaway gag or a villain that the heroes could easily defeat. All of this changed in the DC Rebirth soft reboot in 2016. During his Batman run, Tom King began the story arc, The War of Jokes and Riddles. It was a flashback story, and this is where we learned the newer, more tragic backstory of Kite Man. Charles Chuck Brown was a man who went to school and got an aerodynamics degree. Unfortunately, his personal life wasn't going so well, and he ended up getting a divorce, occasionally seeing his son and sharing their love of flying a kite together. Eventually, Chuck would be hired by the Joker to develop the Joker-mobile. Trying to find the Joker, Batman finds Chuck at a bar and demands that he sets up a meeting with the Joker so that Batman can apprehend him. Like most people, Chuck doesn't refuse and is forced to tell his son that they won't be able to hang out that night due to a meeting that he must attend. Now at this time, the feud between the Joker and the Riddler is going strong, with the two fighting a war over who's going to finally get to kill Batman. Riddler learns that Chuck is going to betray the Joker, and he orders him to betray both Batman and the Joker so that he can end this war once and for all. Finally, the meeting happens, with the forces of Joker and the Riddler clashing, all while Batman fights amongst them. Unfortunately for Chuck, Joker manages to escape and drag him away. Now the Joker's many things, and apparently forgiving is one of them. He tells Chuck that all he has to do is wear a suicide vest, kill Batman, and there will be no hard feelings. Chuck agrees, and he tries to blow up Batman, but the vest is a dud and they discover a riddle instead. Charles discovers that the Riddler had poisoned the string of his son's kite when they were flying yesterday. Chuck's son continues to get sicker and sicker until he passes away from that poison. With the death of his son, Chuck kind of goes a little insane and decides to side with the Joker and the ongoing war in Gotham City. He designs a costume and a gimmick, which all good villains in Gotham need, and he makes his debut to the Joker. Kite Man! Hell yeah! Now, if this was any other story, that might have been the end of it. Kite Man would show up occasionally, usually at the start of his story arc as a one-note villain that Batman had to defeat before we got to the actual villain of the story. But this isn't an ordinary tale. Deciding that the Riddler was the lesser of two evils, Batman began to aid him in the War of Jokes and Riddles. Batman takes out the villains of Gotham systematically, and when he finally gets to Kite Man, Chuck tells Batman and the Riddler the location of the Joker's final stronghold. He gives them all kites so that they can assault the base from the sky and they begin their attack. Secretly, Kite Man had allied himself with Batman, rigging all of the villains' kites to bring them up into the air where Alfred could apprehend them all. During the final fight between Batman, Riddler, and the Joker, it's revealed that Riddler set up the events that created Kite Man to try and make the Joker laugh. Hearing this, Chuck went even further insane. After the war, Chuck was committed to Arkham Asylum, where he joined several other insane, gimmicky, small-time Gotham villains. After the City of Bane event, Charles seems to have been rehabilitated and rejoined the world as a non-supervillain member of society. Let's hope that sticks, because this has become one of the more tragic villains in Batman's rogues gallery. Now, we haven't done an origin in a while, guys, and that's because they're harder to come by nowadays. We've done so many of them already. But if there's some characters that you want the origins to, let me know in the comments down below. We'll make some more origin videos. Maybe I'm missing a few. Either way, please give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you next time right here.